anything more to say about The Boys and how you've given up hope on it? It's wild to think, though, like, because this is 5 seasons. Has it been going on for... Did we have any lull? Do you remember? Or has it been like a true, like, every year there's been a new season? I feel like there might have been like a little lull between season 1 and 2.
There has to be. It feels too old to just be 5 years ago, because 5 years ago it would have been 2021.
That feels kind of right, though.
Let's see.
You're just going to look it up?
Just look up when it started.
Always a good thing to do. You can always do that. It's going to say 2021. It just feels...
First episode date, July 26, 2019.
Oh, okay, so...
Sorry. So, yeah, there was a
little bit of a lull.
Well, it makes sense, though, 2019 and then COVID and shutdown.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah. And
I don't... It's like...
Yeah, and they might have, like, used Gen V as, like, a weird replacement season one year as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that feels right.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's just mean-spirited, and I'm really not into it. And then it's like making, I don't know, it's like this weird...
What do you mean it's mean-spirited?
The Boys is a mean-spirited show.
Yeah, okay, yeah, yes. I had to, like, digest that thought for a second.
Yeah, it's just not nice. It's like, it's just horrible thing after horrible thing, and I don't know. It tapped me out, you know, like it was kind of a breath of fresh air for a second from superhero fatigued, because it had the Watchmen thing of these are all real pieces of shit.
Yeah.
But then you're like,
they're all real pieces of shit.
How is every single one of them a real piece of shit?
Yeah.
And it
or becomes a bit like a piece of shit in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just can't. I just want it to be over, and I'm not going to watch any of the spin-offs. I tried to watch Gen V. Same fucking thing. I was like, oh, this is just skins with superpowers.
Gen V weirdly doesn't get good until the second season. And it only has 2 seasons.
That's not a great...
Yeah. Like, the second season of Gen V was far more captivating.
Yeah, I don't know. And I had another thought with that, too. But it just...
Well, we'll be finishing it off tonight, that's for sure.
It bums me out. Like, I watched our movie, and then I finished the last episode of that, and then I watched Life After? Afterlife, sorry. The
Afterlife?
Ricky Gervais show that I've been watching.
Oh, God.
I was like, what the fuck is wrong? And then, like I told you earlier today, like, put a Joni Mitchell song in, and it's that song from Love Actually that she listens to. It's that, I can't remember what that song is called, but it's like after he's had this great revelation and these great conversations, and then Joni Mitchell starts playing, I just started weeping. I was like, I think I ingested too many sad things today. Like, in my media choices, I am bummed out.
Cool. Well, on that note,
this is Tommy.
This is Jacob. This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape. Look back. Hello. Going into nostalgia mode today, for me at least.
Yeah. Oh, I was like, why are we still looking at The Boys? I forgot to close that tab. Welcome back to TJ's Mixtape. I'm Tommy. That's Jacob. We are a movie review podcast. We talk about movies, who made them, who's in them, and then give a little chit chat about what we felt about the movie. Yeah. And then an arbitrary rating at the end, just to put a nice little period, a little bullet point on it. But before we do that, do we always play a game? Point. At the I know. You could have just let it go, but you didn't. No,
you can ask David about it. Avocado.
We play a game. At the end of each episode, we randomly generate 2 stars from connectthestars.xyz, and then we connect them. And then the following episode, we come up with the connection between co-stars and other films.
Indeed.
So if you ever want to play along, just play in the comments, and we will randomly generate 2 more at the end of this one. But last week was, funny enough, Eddie Murphy to Emma Watson.
Yes. Which was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, but I had to use, like, visual aids. I couldn't just do it in my brain.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
All right, so Eddie Murphy is in Daddy Daycare with Elle Fanning.
Right, I forgot she was in that.
Yeah, very young Elle Fanning, yeah. Who's a complete unknown with Timothée Chalamet, who's in Little Women with Emma Watson.
I thought there would be something there with Little Women. I got Emma Watson is in Circle with Tom Hanks.
Nice. I want to see. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
I really want to see that.
Tom Hanks is in Green Mile with Michael Duncan. What's his name?
Michael
Clark.
Clark Duncan, yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan, who's in Welcome Home Roscoe with Martin Lawrence, who's in Life.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And I just used Life because
it was easy. And it's here.
We are reviewing today
Life.
Life.
1999.
Not to be. There are a lot of movies and shows called Life.
I kind of wanted to create this, save this for like a weird block. I proposed this to you a while ago. Movies with similar or same titles, and talk about the differences of them all. Because there's this movie that we're doing with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, and then there's 2017's Life with Jake Gyllenhaal and Ryan Reynolds, and then there's My Life, which is Michael Keaton getting cancer.
There's a show called Life, which is like some procedural cop thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, like BBC. I'm not going to say anything about it, but there's a show called Life.
Yeah.
A show called Life. Is there a show?
My So-Called Life.
Oh, is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So at the end of this episode, we're going to generate 2 more people and play along if you want. It's just a nice little way to kind of get you thinking about movies and stuff you might have forgotten about.
Exactly. All right. So what we like to do to top it all off, to begin the episode of the review is, well, I like this movie because I suggested it and it's nostalgic for me and I still like it. You've never seen it. Did you like it?
I thought it was a bummer.
Yeah, but it's
weird though too.
It's heart. There's heart in it.
Well, yeah, it's just like it's this comedy about a thing that I don't think they'd make a comedy today about. Disenfranchised black men getting. Well, yeah. So for those of you who haven't seen it,
Yeah.
Life. 2 black men are wrongfully accused of murder and spend the next 40 years in a hard labor prison.
More than 40.
No.
They get
Oh, right. No, because I'm thinking
60
of
years.
Yeah, because 40 is when they see the sheriff again.
Yeah.
So 60 years. Yeah. So it's 60 years. I'm gonna just go ahead and change that real quick.
Well, yeah, by the tail end, yeah, because they were arrested in 1932, which also, I think it's a very clever time for them to have it be at 1932 because Prohibition ended early 1933.
Yeah. So it's like they were right on the tail end of that.
Yeah, and very much, I think that speaks multitudes as well of, just like their travel from the north to the south. We can get all into that later. But yeah, so you thought it was a bummer, but did you enjoy it as well?
Moments. It kind of also had this thing where I just kind of kept seeing other movies into it. Like in it, like there's a moment where it really reminded me of, I made the joke about Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday or last week. And there were moments that reminded me of that, especially with the guy running off and, that. And then there were moments that it reminded me of A League of Their Own. There's this, and it's just like
the baseball moments
because especially in World War II, there was this whole boom of baseball and this this American pastime distraction thing going on. Even like funny enough, there's also moments that reminded me of Green Mile. Like there's moments that just really reminded me of a lot of other things.
But in a buddy comedy way.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like. I don't know. I felt myself very conflicted on what to think about it because I was like, it's making light of something that you just don't make light of anymore.
But the thing is, like, I really don't feel like they're making light of it.
Making light's not the right terminology.
Yeah,
but making it into a comedy.
It's using Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence as a comedy vehicle for a thing that is a very real problem.
My favorite thing about this movie actually was Eddie Murphy in the sense of I've never seen him as this guy.
Yeah.
The cussing and using that particular word left and right.
Yeah.
Unless it's his stand-up, I couldn't think of another movie where I've heard him say that as much as he had.
No.
And I was just like, because it's like Martin Lawrence was just,
he's the straight guy to raise,
but he was Bad Boys. You know what I mean? He was that same.
He's kind of, well, I feel like Claude has a little more dimension in this than.
No, but I mean like,
yeah.
But the cussing and like it was very that character from Bad Boys, So I was like,
the straight man to the fool.
I'm used to that,
to the wild guy.
Seeing Eddie Murphy like that, I was like, as this like hot shot, fast talking bootlegger guy, I was like, this works like for him very well.
All right, well, let's before we start like dissecting more of the film and whatnot, let's get into the little details. So yeah, this came out. April 16th, 1999. Its premiere was on April 13th. It was a technically box office bomb because it didn't make its full budget back.
No. Yeah, pretty close though.
It did get pretty close, but it like over the years it has, garnered its own like cult following because of fans of Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. I've always been a large fan of this film. There was this television channel or like a premium channel that we had when I was a kid on cable that was like Stars Encore, Stars Repeat or something. and like what a new movies that had just came out like after like you do theatrical release and then it'd be on VHS, DVD, and then it would get onto like HBO or Stars or what have you. It would hit this channel first, but it would be on repeat with 2 other movies throughout the entire day. So summertime, this movie ended up on that channel, and I forget what the other 2 movies were with it, but I watched this movie like 2 or 3 times a day for like a month straight. Like I really loved this movie.
I can see why.
Yeah. The buddy comedy thing is a really big thing. Martin Lawrence.
I was like noticing in your childhood there is, because you had this, you have Lethal Weapon, you have Shanghai Noon, which you have a real
fucking love Shanghai Noon.
You have a really weird affinity for that movie.
Like, that's the movie I fell asleep to for 2 years in high school.
Yeah, like
I mean, it's the buddy comedy thing and the buddy.
Do you feel that way about Rush Hour?
I love Rush Hour. Yeah, I know, but I haven't watched Rush Hour on the same thing.
My favorite like combo has to be Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan for that era.
Oh,
the buddy.
They were great.
They were really funny too.
Yeah,
just because they were just so juxtaposition.
Yeah,
and Chris
Tucker's great as well. Yeah, his comedic timing is on point. But yeah, the buddy comedy thing, and then there was also me learning like this movie really brought to attention in my eyes and my mind the oppression that Black people experienced way back in these early days, and really I was noticing it was the beginning of me noticing like, oh, this is still very much a problem today.
Yeah, since in
in 1999's a different year than even from now, but like me as a 12-year-old boy, just like this movie being this highlight for that for me,
Yeah.
But yeah, so this was directed by Ted Demme, who also did The Ref.
I saw that.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. And then another movie, and then Blow is what I put down. He passed away in 2002.
Which I don't remember when we were talking about.
Neither do I. But from sudden heart attack that was possibly due to cocaine use. So, brain, where was I? Oh yeah. So, and also I wanted to bring up this movie came to fruition because Eddie Murphy pitched it to a producer. I forgot to write down his name, Brian something, I want to say. And it was part of like a 2-movie deal that Eddie Murphy did with this company. It was this one and Bowfinger were the 2 that he agreed to do with. And then so they got Robert Ramsey and Matthew Stone to write this, and they seem to be like a writing duo. Almost their entire IMDb was exactly the same except for one movie. They are both credited for writing movies like Big Trouble with Tim Allen. Thank you. I was like, what's his name? Tim Allen. Intolerable Cruelty with George Clooney. My brain is. Am I okay?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
The way that you're looking at me is very much like.
Well, because it's
are you okay?
These aren't like curveball celebrities.
I know. And then Man of the House with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
And a bunch of cheerleader girls.
Isn't that like he's a U.S. Marshal?
Yeah, so
that is the funniest idea to put that into the like universe of like Fugitive and U.S. Marshal.
Oh yeah. If like that was actually that character.
The same character.
Yeah. He's protecting a bunch of cheerleaders.
That's pretty funny.
And putting his protection that saw murder.
I'm gonna say that those are in the same universe. I don't care.
I mean, I'm down for that. Yeah. And then starring, definitely we got our 2 leading stars, Eddie Murphy, who plays Ray.
This is kind of a who's cast of 90s black comedic actors.
Yes.
It's
and a lot of them, it's like this was right before some of them even like got their boom on anything.
Yeah. Well, and then so
yeah, we got Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence we brought up as our 2 like our leads. Eddie Murphy plays Ray, Martin Lawrence plays Claude. And then you got fucking Bernie Mac is in this before Bernie Mac show took off and he really like boomed and whatnot. You have Anthony Anderson, who I don't think he really popped off until like the middle 2010s or something with Blackish and other things that he had done.
Mm-hmm. Well, your through line
was Bokeem Woodbine,
who was he was young in this,
very young. I know. This is like one of his first movie roles too, early on. Yeah.
Guy Torry,
Michael Taliaferro, who he's also in The Replacements. We already did. He plays Goldmouth. Yeah. And Baron Jangaleg. Why do you think they call him Jangaleg? I don't know. I think you're going to find out before me, though.
Well, my favorite is like they did that '90s thing where they had the outtakes too.
Yes,
and
yeah.
Bernie Mac was kept them. The whole movie kept doing this weird like little eye thing, and then Martin Lawrence did something to break him, and his face just went completely back to. It was just like it was crazy to see the facade just drop so immediately.
The mask go away.
Yeah, it was cool.
And then we got R.L. Emery, who iconic, like, military actor type of guy. And then Oba Babatunde. I thought that was an R. Oba Babatunde, who he's an important character to bring up. He plays Willie because he's technically
the narrator.
He's technically narrating this whole thing.
Yeah.
Which then, obviously, you'd argue unreliable narrator thing, but I don't think that's any.
Well, it's
there's no way.
And as they there's moments I just thought was funny, especially with this like little pencil mustache. He looked a lot like Cab Calloway.
Yeah,
in certain shots, like especially when they started aging him.
Yeah,
and then he didn't, but there's like this brief moment where I was like, God, right now, he looks a lot like Cab Calloway.
Great casting for that. Yeah.
Throw a big hat on him, and there you go.
And then their sergeant that's running the prison camp, I wrote Nick Cassavetes, who's been on a lot of looks like police procedural shows.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's
and I thought that the Sheriff Pike, when he first came on screen,
the young one,
the young version, I thought that was Chris Titus for like a split second.
I could see that actually. Yeah.
I actually looked it up. I was like, is that a really young Chris Titus?
But yeah, it's a great cast. And
what happened to him?
Titus?
Yeah, does he still?
He still does stand up. He's really like he presented very much like Republican and conservative for a lot of people, and he's not in any way, shape, or form actually.
No, yeah, he has that. I can see that.
Yeah.
Well, also, I think his style of that Lewis Black, Dennis Leary, yell at you kind of thing, that '90s cocaine bit kind of got tired out.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're ready to move into reviews. Yeah. So yeah, this has got a 6.8 on IMDb, which I think is actually perfect little number. Because this movie is not anything groundbreaking, like no like Oscar worthy of performances or anything. I mean, I think for 1999, very under the rug progressive and what it's on themes of like Black oppression and whatnot, but that it's masked by comedy. 6.9 IMDb.
That's what makes it feel weird.
53% on tomato meter, and a 77% popcorn.
On Metacritic, it has a 63, which comes generally favorable, with 11 positive, 9 mixed, and no negative.
I like there's no negative.
Yes. So like a top at LA Times by John Anderson, who gave it an 80, very short and simple. Gracefully bittersweet and balanced.
Yeah.
Another positive with a 70 at the New York Times. Here it is, by Janet Maslin. Lawrence and Murphy make an entertaining team, and they are surrounded by a supporting cast that makes the prison setting more pleasant than it has any right to be.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the other thing. There's moments that reminded me of Holes.
Yeah, fair. Okay.
Like when they're like bonding, it's like this. Oh, it isn't that bad. You're like, no, this is bad. Like this is.
It's all bad, but it's like since they're there for life, it's trying to make the best
of
it. Yeah.
And then with a 50 for the mix at the Globe and Mail Toronto by Liam Lacey. The result is a movie that is both odd and mediocre, not as bad as Doing Hard Time, but not a particularly good time either. Ebert liked it.
Okay. That's all.
This one, another mix at the Dallas Observer by Hal Hinson. This is kind of my feeling towards it for majority of it. As a result, the film doesn't seem to know what sort of comedy it wants to be. It comes across as more confused than funny.
Interesting.
And that was kind of, I was like, I'm not really sure where, who, what, when. And it might have been because my brain kept just flooding with so many different examples. I kept seeing these other movies in it, and that's not. I wasn't actively trying to do that, but just certain.
The correlation was happening.
Yeah, it was just popping in my head, So I don't know.
That's interesting. And obviously, I got like rose tinted glasses with this. So I was.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
was,
like me and the Phantom.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get it.
So I was really curious to see what reviews were gonna say about this as well. And what's weird, I guess, since the big carrying thing for this movie for me is the buddy comedy thing on the backdrop of the prison system of Mississippi, specifically, towards, black people. That obvious, I mean, there was the oppression that I was aware of and whatnot, learning, when I was a kid, but I guess the comedy made it seem palpable to me, and still does. The movie,
I know, but yeah, I mean,
I think it's because of the fact that there is this dark idea, and they have these moments of groundedness and reality that like when they're older and they've been moved to be caretakers for the owner of the runner of the infirmary or whatever, and
the superintendent.
Thank you. Yeah. And he gets, it's Ned Beatty playing the superintendent at the time. He's asking about the retirement home brochure, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Claude, I shouldn't have done that. That was rude of me," and whatnot. And Claude being like, it's a long time to spend 40 years in prison for a crime you didn't even commit. And he's like, and then the superintendent's like, almost everyone in here says that they're innocent. Don't you find that a little bit funny? And then Claude's like, "Excuse me if I don't laugh."
Yeah.
And just like, oh, there's like moments like that. That's very like the reality. It's like all of this, like you're having this good, no, I shouldn't say good time, but you're laughing along with the comedy that's happening as they're trying to make the best of this horrible situation. And then it brings you back down into the reality of it. Like when Biscuits runs.
Yeah. Like that scene also kind of confused me. Cause like, maybe you can clarify too. Cause what's his name in Shawshank? Red? Is that who does it? Kills himself when he gets released?
Oh, when he's free, yeah.
Red, right?
Yeah.
No,
not Red.
Red is
yeah. Red is Morgan.
Whatever, that guy, the older man.
The old man, yeah.
The old man, I can't remember his name now. Was the guy, what was his name? Cookie?
Biscuit,
right.
No, Cookie is Anthony Anderson, the cook.
Yeah. Biscuit, was he referring to the fact of being gay?
Mm-hmm.
With his mother, and that's what okay, that conversation I kind of like, I don't know if
I can't go back to my mother like this.
Yeah, okay. And then he opted out.
And on top of that, it's like, we don't know how long Biscuit had been in the system.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. That's what I mean, is like it just felt there's just and maybe I don't know. I really actually don't know how to talk about this movie without possibly putting myself in a corner. But I guess fuck it. Like the scene where May Rose, that's clear that they're gonna have an affair, and then she's pregnant, so you're like, okay, duh.
And you're like, hello.
Yeah, like so the kid's gonna come up.
Bokeem Woodbine's like,
the kid's gonna be half black, half white, and this is not the time or place for that.
Especially the South, yeah.
Yeah, like this isn't good. And then we have this scene where he's going up and
holding the baby up to
each one of their faces.
That's one of my favorite scenes.
And it's like, and then they do this like, "Oh, Captain, my Captain" kind of thing.
Oh yeah, I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus.
Yeah, and they all stand for it, and it's like,
I'm the baby.
And they all like,
I'm the pappy.
Yeah, and they all start laughing. Yeah. I feel like that wasn't a scripted laugh. I feel like Bernie Mac just
broke everyone.
Yeah, I think he just broke the entire crew. But like that, like change the music and change the camera angles, and
it's a horror movie. It's a
you have 12 years a slave. Like,
yeah, I know.
It's crazy. That's why I was just sitting there like, what do I do? Like, I don't know.
And that's what it's like. I like that it doesn't, because it's, you go to like 12 Years a Slave is a good example to like kind of that juxtaposition, because obviously this is a horrible thing that's happening, but it's also real. It's a thing that happened and still happens. And there's the looking at it in the dramatic, like, oh my God, I want to feel that pain type of way, or feel the empathy, or this just happens and this is life, so let's just let it happen and move on forward with it as well.
Well, I think this is a great movie. If you're actually, this might just probably someone's going to disagree, but I don't really care. This movie is a great example, I think, actually, if you were to take this and write a thesis on the evolution of comedy, because of the fact that this is such sensitive subject matter that is also being performed by pretty much sooner or later a crew of pretty legendary black performers.
Yeah.
Like whether or not they were legendary at that moment in time or they were coming up or there was a lot of
Eddie
people.
Murphy is the biggest name on this thing.
Yeah, but then
and he's a producer on it too.
And look who else became, out
Yeah.
of that. Unfortunately, a lot of the people in this movie too have passed away at this point.
Yeah.
But like Bernie Mac,
Yeah.
that guy was a comedy icon.
Yeah.
Until he died, basically.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the Bernie Mac show was fucking hilarious.
Bernie Mac was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like Bernie Mac was really funny. And I was also just realizing too, I was like, what is up with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy and their fucking love of prosthetics in this era? They love any chance you got to put them in full makeup. They were like, sign me up.
This movie was nominated for an Oscar for its makeup. Actually,
It was great.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
It's actually really really.
Well, and their transformation performance in the makeup as well was really great too.
Yeah, like it now looks a little rubbery, in hindsight. But I mean, for 1980, you're like, this is pretty solid.
Yeah.
But that's even the thing though.
The
With Eddie Murphy, all his prosthetic stuff, whether or not you like the movie,
yeah,
like his transformations
Because,
in Nutty Professor.
No, I was gonna say Nutty Professor was before this.
There was just this era of
he's so
90s
not PC
comedian.
now.
What, Nutty Professor?
Yeah, so much fat shaming.
Like, no, even at the time. Like,
Yeah.
I remember my parents, at least my mom and I, trying to watch that, and they turned it off. They were like, fuck this. Like, this is absolutely horrible.
I loved it when I was a
I'm
kid.
sure you did. Well, I mean, that whole joke in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Right? Another case example of humor and comedy. What do you mean, you people?
Oh yeah, because then you got Martin Lawrence in Big Mama's house.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then, well, it's even like a fucking, sorry, I'm swearing a lot today. I don't know why. Mike Myers, Austin Powers.
Yeah.
Or even like in movies, like, like Austin Powers, that kind of became the joke. Like he was going to play both the hero, the villains, you know? But then even like in So I Married an Axe Murderer, like he plays his own dad.
Well, that's okay. So a big thing for that is these actors and their roots of comedy is sketch comedy. Even Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
And Eddie Murphy, SNL, and then Mike Myers.
If you
SNL.
ever see Mad TV on like a collection DVD, you gotta grab it for me.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I really want to watch it.
If you ever see In Living Color, you got to get that for me.
Okay. Sounds good.
And so it makes sense that's like kind of their gimmick. Like even so Martin Lawrence, one of the movies that I would say actually shows like a little bit more of his like character acting that not a lot of people know about is one called Blue Streak, with Luke Wilson. He plays a guy who he robs some diamonds, hides them in a construction site, and that turns out to be a police sync when he gets out, and so he has to fake to be a police officer to get his diamonds. But throughout that movie, he's doing different characters here and there, and just like he did that in the Martin show, So like, it makes sense for this evolution for them to be doing that in these movies, especially in the 90s. I think this whole prosthetic makeup thing is an odd backlash to the beginning of all the CGI that was happening in the early 90s, where they're like, well, and also prosthetics have been, are progressively and still getting better to today, And I think just like
I think it was like an artistic flex. I think.
Yeah, very much so. And in general, I will say from my performance education, one of my favorite classes was clown and was mask. And mask, when you put on a mask and you have like, a prosthetic or something over your face, it helps for you to hide and find a transformation.
Well, I think that's why the show you watch on College Humor or whatever.
Oh, VIP?
Yeah. I think that's why that show
I love
is
that
so
show.
weird, because they just feel naked and free.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's a great example of mask, character transformation and whatnot. Prosthetics are amazing. They're so cool. I would have loved to have gone into like being a prosthetic, character actor.
This is a completely, I just wanted to ask, this has nothing to do with anything. This is just between us, but
it's going to be on the podcast. Or do you want, let me know if you want me to
no, before I forget. Do you own the Mask of Zorro?
I don't. I had it on VHS when I was a kid.
Okay. Well, because I just watched The Mummy and I was like, I really want to watch another like '90s golden
swashbuckler,
age, like golden age of Hollywood movie, and I was like, Mask of Zorro is definitely that.
I would love to watch that too. Actually, I haven't seen that.
I
Since
haven't
I was
seen
a
it in
kid.
a while.
Yeah,
and I really want to watch it. After watching The Mummy, I was like, I want more of this kind of shit. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And this one's sword fighting and shit. Anyways, sorry.
the upper room.
Oh, yeah, that was cute.
So, a great example for this movie, and I think that captures the heart of it and the importance of them, the characters as like an ensemble, is when they're all like going to sleep and Eddie Murphy's talking about Ray's boom boom room.
Mm-hmm. That actually, I was pretty checked out in it because that's when I started noticing, because I was like, well, we have this whole bootlegger thing happening, and I was like, I'm kind of more interested now in their road trip for two black men in this time period being bootleggers, dealing, they go into the diner, and it's a white only's diner. And that whole interaction was
uncomfortable.
Really funny.
How much money did it take to make those white only pies
into a She's like, I'll make you. He's like, nope. And you're like,
up the road, it's about 35 miles. Yeah,
okay, sounds good. But like, so they're like, I was kind of more interested in that, and then we get into the prison thing, and then it started feeling like The Longest Yard, and then they had that scene where the imagination,
the Ray's boom boom room.
Yeah, and that was really cool. It was really simple. It was really just a fun way.
Yeah, well, it's like, I love that how it's them finding ways of escaping what they're in,
Yeah.
And how Ray is like, you should have been there last night, and who does he say?
Louis Armstrong.
I forget what his nickname for him is,
No.
or if that was one of Louis' nicknames as well. But, and then him just kind of like painting this picture, and like you just cut from these of them in their bunks to them in this like glamorous, nightclub. And I love that the butt of the joke with it as well is how Claude is like, stop talking about, like, he's like, so like
Satchmo.
Yeah.
He had a Ambassador Satch, Dipper Mouth, Satch, Dipper, Pops, and Satchmo.
All right.
Satchmo's the best one.
Satchmo. Claude, telling everybody to shut the fuck up because, he doesn't want to humor Ray's like.
Well, and it's kind of an attack on Ray more than anything else.
Yeah, exactly. But then like how Ray like then in the fantasy makes Claude then like their server,
the busboy.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, it's just also always interesting to me, like, to do a movie like this and do it well, you're already stacking on quite a budget. Just a period piece to get everything as close as you can to 1930s.
And that's like, sorry, do you have more thoughts?
No, just get the cars and the clothes and the.
That's also one of the things that I really, really love about this movie is the time capsule and the period drama nature of it. How we're traveling from
even the bootlegger thing made me think of Sinners.
1930s into the mid 1940s to the 1970s to the mid 1990s, and one of my also like a touching moment that there's so like I'm trying not to just quote this movie, but when Martin Lawrence drives to get the new superintendent.
Yeah, the first time he's actually off the lane.
Yeah, and it's just like they've been secluded in the.
What's the 21 Jump Street walking through the parking lot?
What?
Remember, it's when they first get to the high school and they're like, okay, those are hipsters. Those are. I don't know what the fuck that is. And he has that too, where he's looking at like.
And what? Well, it is like also he's just seeing all of these like black people living amongst white people and really like solidarity type.
Well,
thing.
yeah, like all the kids going up to the black ice cream truck driver.
Yeah,
and it's mixed. There's white kids, there's black kids. They're all going to the black man and just coexisting together.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a very foreign. And then he gets that shot of like first time really seeing his face.
Yeah,
and how old he's gotten and stuff. And that's what I mean. The movie's just kind of a fucking bummer.
And I guess that's what I like about it is that inside of all of this comedy, and you say bummer, I say heart. It's very real. It's very much these people going through like actual things where a lot of comedies I feel like they're afraid to go into that side of it as well. The reality of what they're making fun of. I should say making fun of, but making comedy with is a good way to put it. And like when they find the cop that arrested them, put them in got them to go to jail, and he's going to be the new superintendent, and he's like, Ray, that's my daddy's watch.
Yeah,
it's my daddy's watch. Just like there's so many moments that I like a movie that can make me laugh and cry multiple, or tear up, at least feel emotion throughout the entire film.
Well, yeah, but
back
then
and forth.
I felt like it was kind of, there was a moment that I felt like it was kind of, we were swept off our feet, and not in a fair way, like when they kill the corrupt cop
superintendent, yeah,
and then there's this, they're gonna get a pardon,
and
I feel like we could have ended it there.
Like if they just got the pardon,
we didn't need they're already at that point, because by the time that our two, and I mean, that might have come off too pandering Hollywood happy ending. Yeah. But I don't know. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Well, we got to remember the setup of this film is that they're getting buried. And it's a story being told by Willie.
Oh, that too. I forgot about that. I forgot until we went back to that scene, that I was like, oh, right, that's where this
and
all
also, the movie is called Life. It's them. They spent life in prison.
Well, yeah, but at that point, it was 40 years. Yeah. Like, that's a good chunk.
It is. But then having them actually, I think the best ending is what does happen is they find a way to escape, actually. Not just get pardoned, but it's also Ray's been trying to figure out ways for them to escape this entire time. Claude's just finding a way to get them
escaping
pardoned.
Breaks the system, as opposed to it's anti-system versus being released by the system.
Yes, and a system that we are showing again and again and again lets them down and will not do anything for them. So as soon as they have that glimmer of hope of that it will work for them, it gets taken away, which I think is very, very real. Yeah. And the most unrealistic thing is them breaking out, bringing in bodies from the morgue to mask
at 90 years old.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I love the goofiness of that too. This movie ending with them at a Yankees game, I think is it's heartwarming to me. It brings a tear to my eye.
Bert and Ernie.
We're fucking real, dude. And that's one big thing about this movie as well, I feel, is outside of the, them being arrested and the prison camp stuff, is a really great story of two people, their growth as friends, Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're stuck together for damn sure. And they didn't, by any other circumstance would never be friends, probably.
Well, and I liked too that it was like Martin Lawrence's character kept trying to blame Ray for everything, which was easy to do because Ray was kind of like the last inciting action. But it's like, he did save your life. Yeah. Which he kept forgetting. And it was nice that there wasn't someone solely to blame. And that might sound stupid, but I just...
No, I mean, even Claude, he didn't have to go inside. He didn't have to spend his last $2 to sleep with that bomb-ass woman. But yeah, there is the growth of them as characters is the thing that really also gets me, is that you see them, I feel like they're full three-dimensional characters,
I think Ray more so than Claude personally, but
I mean, Claude,
but also at the end of the day, they're both our leading men, but especially for this time period, Eddie Murphy is the leading man. He is the one really that is their first and foremost banking on bringing people in, and then second is Martin Lawrence at this moment in time, know.
I mean, because Martin Lawrence, this movie really,
it's the same thing with Bad Boys. It was like Will Smith was the leading man.
It's like Martin Lawrence. He had his own little following. Like I said, Blue Streak was actually the same year as this. Yeah. And there was another. Well, then Big Mama's House is this movie escalates Martin Lawrence to then Big Mama's House, and that was its own.
He's only been in 48 things. That's crazy.
Martin Lawrence? Yeah. I feel like after the fallout of Big Mama's House 2, he kind of went low-key quiet on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the most he's been doing are sequels to Bad Boys.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah.
National Security. I remember that one.
Oh,
Black Knight.
That's right. Oh, man. Black Knight.
Okay. I'm going to just say something. He also just made really mediocre movies that were completely forgotten. Yeah. Eddie Murphy did a few more smart career choice stuff.
Yes, 100%.
Like, and I'm not throwing shade. I'm not talking shit. I'm just looking at their two lists of the things that
one is clearly more successful than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like even Eddie Murphy made a really good call about getting into voice acting. Getting that Shrek paycheck was a really good idea.
Yep. Well, Eddie Murphy was also sent into the stratosphere at a very young age. He was,
Oh yeah, but I just
in his early 20s making Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, yeah, because even he has his mediocre. Meet Dave, imagine that. Like,
but those are all later in his career.
Yeah.
It's like Eddie Murphy, like
Daddy Daycare's pretty mediocre.
Coming to America.
Pluto Nash.
Yeah.
Showtime. I do like Showtime.
Showtime's fun. Yeah,
that's a good one.
But like Eddie Murphy, like had this he was blown in the stratosphere in the early 90s, late 80s. Had like a continuation like through like The Nutty Professor and like this and some other stuff. Like he then did his character comedy stuff. Martin Lawrence was still kind of like Bad Boys was kind of like his first Hollywood breakthrough, and I think that's mid 90s, 1994, 1995.
The first one?
Yeah.
It's a good question, actually. I don't remember.
And maybe even 1996.
1995.
Okay. But he had the Martin Show in the early mid 90s. That was kind of like, they're like the same age. Martin Lawrence's career didn't start off as big as Eddie Murphy's career did. So that makes sense why Eddie Murphy would just have like bigger, like more success.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just looking too. I mean, he was just kind of smart. Well, because then he did the Dr. Dolittle thing, which
about that one. Family starting to go into family comedies. That's really
well, but that's also. I mean, granted, it didn't take off, but that is a franchisable.
Mm-hmm. Well,
IP,
and they're both like Doctor. I always found it interesting is that Dr. Dolittle and The Nutty Professor are remakes of like 1950s, 60s comedies.
I mean, I really think that his smartest move was getting Shrek.
Yeah,
from just a royalty standpoint, just to make money.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, nobody knew Shrek was going to be that big.
That's the people that worked on it. Because remember, Shrek was the thing that they sent them over to when they were fucking up on other stuff.
Yeah.
From my understanding, the people working on it were like, because of the fact that they were the bad boys, they weren't, they were so off the radar that they were able to get away with a lot of stuff. They're like, there's something here that we see it because we're making it. Yeah. So I feel like, I think that if you were on, like, especially if you're, they presented you with a script and you looked at it, especially these people, all the people in it are these funny people. You know, they're all more comedy driven people in that cast than anything else. Because you have
Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, John Lithgow.
Yeah, these are all funny people.
Yeah.
So they're all sitting here going, this is good shit. So I think that's the before now it's Marvel.
Yeah.
If you want to get your royalty check for a long time. No, Shrek, I'm sorry, I know, just Shrek really blows my mind how much of a lightning in the bottle that thing was. That was crazy. For like a kid's movie, and even adults going, whoa.
Well, I mean, it was just really smart how they were able to have very innocent humor masked with very adult humor as well. Or I'm sorry, very adult humor masked with very innocent humor.
And then a lot of fairy tale tropes and stuff, Or like little, killing Mama Bear and making her to a rug.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those are like little
yeah.
visual gags you don't always get. Yeah. All right, back to life though. And I guess like where I was like ending my thought process, my tangent was them growing as characters is really, I think, the big heart of this film. And even though they're in this horrible situation, and like I like that it even has this moment of where they just don't talk to each other for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And I feel like the montage use in this film is fucking great too. Like as it travels between different, time periods, and the soundtrack is really very it's so fucking early or late 90s. I love the soundtrack. It's so nostalgic for me. It brings me back to middle school. But yeah, just we have really good character arcs and character development. And for it, I like and I was bringing this up a little bit earlier. It's like, I like the inverse of how the entire time that they're trying to escape, and you feel like they've kind of succumbed, they're going to die in this place. And it's been Ray that's always had like the crazy scheme of like, well, he made a map to get Claude to run with them, and they got the farthest that no anyone has ever gotten type thing. Then he gets, there's the plane duster that he had the idea for. But Claude is trying to work with the system, and he's always like, well, I got this cousin who works, that might be able to get a pardon.
He's a lawyer.
And then Can't Get Right, played by Bokeem Woodbine, being a possible baseball star. And then it's like, oh, we're his handlers. We should get pardoned with him so we can work with him because, nobody else can work with this kid. And that's not obviously how it works. And, Claude gives up. But then the end of it is that it turns into Claude having the idea of how to get them out and escape by the dead bodies in the morgue and putting them in and setting the fire. I guess they set the place to fire. Set it ablaze.
Mm-hmm.
What is the term? Set
it on fire.
Set it on fire. That's what it is.
Set the building on
fire.
Some wild curveballs you're having today.
Dude, for real. My brain is very cloudy right now. But yeah, I think it is. I really think that this movie actually has a lot more thought put into it and craft than a lot of people can generally see.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
And like, this was I rewatched this movie a couple years ago for the first time in a long time, and I was scared. I was like, man, dude, this is going to be so offensive. This is going to be so X, Y, and Z. Just, being prepared for like what Eddie Murphy's career was, with the Nutty Professor and, Norbit and shit like that. And I was like, so what's happening?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry. I'll tell you later.
All right. Did you step and poop?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's just, I was very pleasantly surprised a couple years ago when I watched it. I was like, wow, I feel like this movie not only holds up, but I think it's actually still relevant. It could be very relevant to show to new audiences today.
Well, yeah, like I said, though, it's just like, I think that.
And I see the uncomfortability of like, I don't know if I should be laughing at this.
I just think that some people will find it funny and some people will find it offensive, but that's also comedy.
Yeah.
That's been that argument for years now.
And I think this is a great vehicle to present to people. Like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And these people that are in it are just making the fucking best out of it, and that's sometimes you got to laugh at it and sometimes you got to cry at it.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we spent like 15 minutes talking about Shrek, but
no, it wasn't 15.
No, it wasn't.
I could make it 15 minutes.
No, we should probably wrap it up.
What do you want to give it?
Like a 3.5.
I'll do a 3.5.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like the 6.8 IMDb is a perfect score,
Do you want to finish with one more through line, or do you want this to be the end through line?
That's up to you.
Well, do you want to do one more through line and then jump over to...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because you were wanting, look at the calendar real quick.
I mean, we can talk about this off camera.
Okay.
We don't have to talk about it right now. I think, yeah. Okay. Let's talk about it off camera.
Look for our promos to find out what we're doing next week. I did connect the stars. I got Woody Harrelson to Viola Davis.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Woody
to Viola.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. You'll see our promos, so you know what's coming up in the weeks or in the coming week. All of our Linktree links are on there too to find out all the places that we put our podcasts. We have YouTube, Apple, all that kind of stuff. If you're listening on something.
Yeah, that's true.
Send to a friend if they like movies and they like listen to two stupid
white dudes talk about black films.
That's our new soul thing. We're gonna only talk about black films. David. I couldn't think of anything.
It's all good.
I wanted to name drop him, but I couldn't think of anything to say.
All right. Yeah, thank you guys for listening.
I thought it was something to say. Thanks for listening. This is Tommy.
This is Jacob. This is Tommy and Jacob's Mixtape.